Leo, welcome to the realm of astrology. This is your monthly horoscope for August 2021. But before we begin, I would like to let you know that I do daily video horoscopes, weekly video horoscopes, and monthly sun rising sign horoscopes that you can watch on my YouTube channel. I also request you to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be notified every time I post a video. Now, Leo, the month of August is an intense one, all right? We have the Sun in Leo in your sign opposing Saturn in Aquarius. So the whole month we will feel the energy of Saturn in Aquarius, which means it's going to be an intense month. A lot of decisions, a lot of hard work, a lot of figuring things out will happen. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about the most important events in the month of August for you, Leo. So let's talk about those. And I'll keep it as short as I can and cover the most important things, and at the end of this I will pick a card for the month of August for you, Leo. Now this video is for Leo rising and Leo sun. Watch your rising sign and then your sun sign. Preference given to the rising sign. Now the first important event happens on 8th August. Now that's a new moon in your sign, Leo, in the sign of Leo. It's happening at 16 degrees and it's right here in your first house. And a new beginning typically is a new moon is a new beginning, right? That's what it means. And in the first house, Leo, this new beginning is connected to who you are becoming, your identity, how you present yourself to the world, how the world sees you. All that, there's a new beginning in that area for you. And the whole month, starting on August 8th, for the next 30 days, till the new moon that happens next month, you are going to be working on this new beginning of your identity, your individuality, who you are becoming, how the world sees you, how you present yourself to the world, and even your appearances, perhaps. However, Leo, I want to talk about something that's very important and especially important for you. And that is that this new beginning is in opposition to Saturn, right? Saturn is in the opposing sign of Aquarius, opposing the Leo energy. And you are a Leo sun or a Leo rising, which means you're feeling the intensity of Saturn very intensely. And Saturn asks us to work hard. It asks us to be disciplined. It asks us to put in effort, right? And with Saturn, it can feel like one is stuck. It can feel like one is trying so hard, yet the rewards are not coming. And that's because the rewards with Saturn come in later. So Saturn is opposing your sign, Leo, and will continue to do so till 2023. So a lot of intensity for you, a lot of hard work, a lot of decisions, a lot of putting things in order. And it is also opposing the new moon in the sign of Leo in your first house, which means that this new beginning can feel difficult. It can feel like a lot of hard work is required. It can require you to take decisions. It can require you to work very hard. And it can also be a feeling that this new beginning doesn't come about in a way that you want it to, because Saturn is there. Saturn can delay things, right? It's not just for you, it's for everyone. But what is important for you is that Saturn is opposing Leo, which means you'll feel the intensity till 2023, till Saturn moves out of Aquarius and stops opposing your sign. So that's the new beginning, which will require work, which will require discipline, which can feel challenging, which can feel difficult. So that's August 8th. Then on August 11th, Leo, Mercury is going to leave your sign, August 11th, leave your sign and enter your second house. And Mercury is a mental energy. It's our thoughts, it's our communication. It is also our health and job and routine, right? So when Mercury is going to leave your first house and enter your second house on August 11th, your mental focus, your mental energies are going to be diverted towards second house matters from your first house matters. Up until August 11th, you would be more focused on thinking about, talking about, communicating about yourself, right? Who you are, your identity. But from August 11th, that focus is going to shift and it's going to be about your material possessions. your finances, the projects you're working on in a way, the skills you have, and even your self-worth and values. You're going to start to think more about that, communicate more about that. And then on August 15th, Leo, we have the first quarter square of the moon. And this is a point where the sun and the moon make their first 90-degree angle after the new moon. And this represents a friction, right? Now, this is the point where you will start to overcome challenges, adjust things, change things, connected to the new beginning that happened on August 8th, which was about your identity, who you are becoming, how you present yourself to the world, right? So now you'll be adjusting things associated with that beginning. What do I need to change? What do I need to adjust? Okay, I'm having this obstacle. How do I overcome it? And that's going to be the energy for the whole week till August 22nd. Then on August 16th, Venus is going to leave your second house and enter the sign of Libra, which is your third house, right? And now wherever Venus is, we start to receive certain blessings, certain gifts. We get more receptive to that area in our life. And up until August 16th, that area for you is your finances, your material possessions, your skills, your self-worth and values. But from August 16th onwards, that focus is going to shift towards communication, your immediate environment, the siblings you have, your peer group, things like that. And then on August 19th, Leo, Uranus is going to go retrograde. Now Uranus is in your 10th house, right? And it's been here since I think 2018 and 2019 beginning, something like that, and will be here till 2026. So it's a long transit, right? And what does Uranus want? Uranus wants us to be our authentic self. And for that purpose, it can bring things into our life or get rid of things, and that too quite suddenly. In your 10th house, Leo, it is working on connecting you with yourself, helping you be your authentic self through your business, through your career, and will continue to do so. And now when Uranus goes retrograde, you will start to review that area of your life. You know, retrogrades are also a period where we receive the rewards for the work we've put in. So perhaps you'll receive some reward for the work that you've put in this area where Uranus is that I just mentioned, connected to your business and career, in being your authentic self. And before I move on, Leo, let's also talk about the retrogrades. This Uranus retrograde means all outer planets are retrograde at this point. Pluto, Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune, Chiron, and now Uranus, which means a lot of review of the past few months, a lot of approaching the past with a different perspective, a lot of rewards for the work that you've already put in. So that's the vibe, right? A lot of review in the month of August. And before I move on with the rest of the month, I want to mention that last month I had asked you if you wanted to see a long-term energy video, things like where Uranus is and what that means, which I just explained to you, things like where Saturn is and Pluto and other long-term energies in your chart. So that video is ready and it should be out soon if it's not already out. And I just thought I'd mention it. So if you want to know the underlying energies in your chart, the things that can last years, you can watch that video if you're interested. If it's not out already, it will be very soon. Okay, now moving on, Leo. The next important thing happens on August 22nd, and that is a full moon in Aquarius, 29 degrees of Aquarius. So here and here, okay, which means your 7th house and your 1st house. Now, Leo, what is a full moon? A full moon is a culmination point, it's a completion point, but more importantly, it's a point of clarity. We can see things clearly on a full moon. We understand things on a full moon. So this full moon is highlighting your 1st house and 7th house, right? But before we get into that, this full moon is very special, and that's because this is the 2nd full moon in Aquarius we're having this year. We had one last month and now this month. And typically we'll have only one full moon in a sign, right? In the whole year. But this year we have two, so it makes it special. Now, talking about your first and seventh house, this full moon is highlighting you, who you are, your identity, who you are becoming, how you present yourself to the world, perhaps even your appearances and your legal relationships. This includes your marriage, your spouse, your in-laws, and even your business partners. That is what this full moon is highlighting. That's one. Two, this full moon will also bring understanding to the new beginning that happened on August 8th in your first house of your identity and individuality. Right? What was that beginning? Things are becoming more clear now. Now, the most important thing is that this full moon is also bringing clarity to the new beginning we had in December of 2020. And that beginning was at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which technically makes it your seventh house. Right? So that beginning was connected to your marriage, spouse, business partnerships, legal relationships in December of 2020. And now you're able to see that beginning more clearly. And even in Feb, there was a beginning in the same area in your chart. So you're seeing that more clearly. Now, before we move on, if you are an N degree Leo, right, you might just resonate more with the Virgo reading. So I just thought I'd mention that before we move on. So these are the things that this full moon is highlighting. And on the same day, the sun is going to leave your sign and to enter the sign of Virgo. And I know, Leo, the sun rules your sign. The sun loves Leo. But with the opposition to Saturn, the sun in Leo was going through a lot of intensity. Okay. But now in Virgo, the sun will stop going through so much intensity, which means that the intensity that I mentioned in the beginning of the video in the month of August will begin to slowly ease off, right? And towards the end of the month on August 30th, Mercury is going to leave your second house now because it's transited your second house and enter your third house. And now you will start to divert your mental energy, your thinking, your communication towards matters associated with your immediate environment, your peer group, perhaps some writing or social media, that sort of thing. And on the same day, we have the last quarter square of the moon as well. Now, this is the point where we start the release process. What are you releasing? You're releasing the new moon that happened in your first house. At this point, you're assessing. I had a new beginning in my house of individuality and identity. What about that am I letting go of? So the whole week till the new moon next month is about release, letting go. And this process is subtle and subconscious. So Leo, it is a very intense time for you because Saturn is in the opposite sign, right? Opposing your energy. So it's not just that this month is going to be intense for you. These 2 years till 2023, till Saturn is in the sign of Aquarius, will be very intense because it's opposing your sign. You will be asked to work hard. You will be asked to be disciplined. You will be asked to get things in order. Now, if you're a Leo rising and this is your first house, then yes, it will be connected to who you are becoming and all that stuff. But if you're a Leo sun and say it falls in your fourth house, then fourth and 10th house axis, right? Then it will be about your family and your career that Saturn is impacting, asking you to work on your home as well as your business and career. So it depends. But Saturn is opposing your energy, so that will make you work. That will require you to work. So if you're feeling intensity, if you're feeling that things are not moving smoothly, if you're feeling like the effort is not worth the reward, then that's because Saturn's in the opposite sign. And this will pass by 2023. So I just thought I'd mention that. And Uranus in your 10th house is changing up your business, right? It is suddenly, unexpectedly working on your house of business and career. So for you, you're going, see, the most important houses, in my opinion, are the first, the fourth, the 7th, and the 10th. And that's because this is you first, this is your family and home, This is your spouse and marriage and business partners, and this is your business and career. Now, these form the crux of a person's life, right? So you are going through your identity, sort of being Saturn asking you to work on your identity while it is transiting your house of marriage, legal relationships, business partnerships, and Uranus is sitting there in your 10th house working on your career, opposing your 4th house of family and foundation. So it's a very intense time for you, Leo. Okay, anyway, I won't go into that stuff in this video because this is the monthly and I want to stick to the monthly events. Now, again, August is a very intense month. However, that being said, it will push us towards the life that we are building, and I'm referring to the life that we started building in December of 2020 and will continue to build for the next 2 years, which will be with us for the next 20 years. So August will push us more towards building that life, but it may feel very stressful. That being said, Leo, let me pick a card for you. Okay, it says breathe. I think this is appropriate for you because, like I said, there's a lot of intensity that you are going through, a lot. And this card is reminding you that, Leo, in the month of August, you will have to take time out to breathe, to take care of yourself, to nurture yourself, because it is important. And another thing that I didn't mention, you can't see the chart anymore, but one thing more is that Saturn and Uranus are squaring in your 10th and 7th house. You know, that's a very intense energy, and that brings up your married spouse, business partnerships, and your career. It's really working on that. So anyway, I just thought I'd mention that. So a lot of intensity, that's the bottom line, right? And it becomes important for you to take time out and breathe. Leo. That's what you need to do. Breathe. You'll have to take out time to indulge in self-care, in nourishing yourself, okay? And I hope you enjoyed this video, Leo. I will see you in one of my other videos, and do watch the long-term energy video if that interests you. If it's not out, it will be soon. Have a great month, Leo. I'll see you next time. Bye.